I'm the type of guy that always looks for the positive side of things, no matter how negative they are. Fortunately for us, there's actually something good in this Blazing Vortex set. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here, and today we're going to be talking about the best cards from Blazing Vortex. As you know, in this channel, we keep it 100 at every single time. I'm not the type to overhype something unless I believe in it. Blazing Vortex is not Rise of the Duelists, but fortunately for us, Blazing Vortex does have some cards that you should be checking out on because they're not that bad. They actually could make a form of an impact. So of course, if you want to see more real content like this, then be sure to destroy that subscribe button, but also post down below in the comment section, what are you most excited for Blazing Vortex? I mean, hey, it doesn't have to be competitively good for you to not find some cards really interesting. I'll even tell you a card that I feel is really interesting in this set, and it's not Pot of Disparity. The first card I want to talk to you about reminds me of the Gizmek archetype. Gizmeks aren't necessarily an archetype by the conventional means, but a different attribute comes out in every single set and has a unique effect. I feel like Heavenly Zephyr Miradora is one of those cards. It is a level 7 wind dragon monster whose effect reads, the activation and effect of this card effects cannot be negated. If your opponent special summons a monster with 2,000 or more attack from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one face-up opponent's monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. Neither player can activate that monster's effects while this monster is face-up on the field. Of course, you can only use each effect of Heavenly Zephyr Miradora once per turn. Now, there are two cards that come to mind when I see this card. One is Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, and the other is a pseudo effect Veiler. The thing that I like the most about this card is that it can trigger from the hand, its effects can't be negated, and it summons itself to the side of the field. It has some pretty interesting stats at 2,000 attack and 26 defense, but the most important thing is that while cards like Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence negate the activation, meaning that your opponent could still use its effect, this card prevents your opponent from even attempting to activate the card's effect. This doesn't come up a lot, but even if your opponent wanted to use the effect to potentially get a card from their field to the graveyard, like detaching a material for Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, they couldn't even do it because this card prevents them from even doing so. Now, there is something that is a huge turnoff about this card, and it's the fact that it targets. I think that this card would have been perfect to stopping cards like Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, but unfortunately that wasn't meant to be. Now, Miradora is a confirmed secret rare in this set. Fortunately for us, I don't think that this card will eclipse the $10 price range, but it is a card that I feel that players should have a playset of because later on in the future it might be a valuable card. Now, if you guys really love Pot, not that, I mean, who even calls it that anymore? You're weird. You're thinking weird. Then a fusion between duality and extravagance might just be the card for you. Pot of Prosperity is a spell card, a secret rare spell card that makes its debut inside of the Blazing Vortex set. This is easily the best card in the entire set. What Prosperity does is it allows you to banish 3 or 6 cards from your extra deck face down and then excavate that many cards from the top of your deck. You can add one of those cards, but for the remainder of the turn, any damage your opponent would take is halved, and you can't draw cards for the duration of the turn. Now, there are some clear-cut advantages over Pot of Prosperity and its counterparts Pot of Duality and Pot of Extravagance. The first thing is that you can actually choose the cards that you banish. That's right, unlike Pot of Extravagance, Pot of Prosperity allows you to choose the cards. That means if you have 6 dedicated slots that you just don't care about, then Pot of Prosperity could be that card that you can play instead. A thing that this card has over Duality is that not only can you still special summon, you can excavate up to 6 cards that you can see from the top of your deck and add one of those to your hand. Now, of course, this card does have its drawbacks. You still have to banish 6 cards from your extra deck and you can only get 1 card, but my homegirl kinda did some math. Playing 3 of a particular card and banishing 6 cards with Pot of Prosperity means that you have a 60% chance of opening a particular card. If you're running a 1-of, well, it's just 25%. That is huge for an opening turn. Pot of Prosperity is another one of those amazing pot cards. I think we've only had one of them that's bad. I felt like Stress really wasn't powerful enough, but at the time, some people really enjoyed. We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, are we? I can see Pot of Prosperity being a $60 secret rare. Fortunately, I don't think that this is a card that is meant for every single Yu-Gi-Oh deck and helps more rogue decks than any other deck, but still it's one of the best cards, if not the best card in the set. 100% my favorite card from this set is not Pot of Prosperity. I think it's a really good card. Now, when I say best card of the set, we obviously know it belongs to the Armed Dragon archetype, but this card's a really close second, right? Underworld Goddess of the Closed World is a Link 5 light fiend monster who requires at least 4 monsters on the field to summon. I know you're probably looking at me like, what? Why would I want to give up 4 monsters to summon this card? There's not a single deck that would even want to give 4 monsters to summon this card. Keep watching the video. You can use one of your opponent's monsters as link material to link summon this card. If this card is link summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This link summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster, you can negate the activation. Now, the fact that you would have to give up at least 3 of your monsters, a link to, and potentially your opponent's monster to summon this card, that's a little crazy. I mean, like, why would we do that? Until you factor in decks like ABC, which after summoning an ABC Dragon Buster can bring 3 cards to your side of the field, and there just so happens to be an IP Masquerena, which could link all of those and your opponent's monster, this card goes from very average to amazing. I love that Underworld Goddess actually works with IP Masquerena and the fact that it has some really good effects. It's a card that is extremely balanced but found its niche inside of a rogue deck. I feel like this card helps ABC tremendously, a lot better than some players think. So of course, if you want to see an ABC deck profiled, and be sure to destroy that like button, as well as let us know down below in the comment section. ABC gets too strong with this card. I think I spilled the beans. I don't think anybody's supposed to know until at least I have a copy of this card. I mean, yeah. Fortunately for us, the amount of decks that can take advantage of this card are far and few between. I can see when the dust settles on this secret rare, it will be a $10 secret. Unless there is some super top tier strategy that I'm not knowing of can take advantage, this card won't be hard to get or come by. Now, when I originally read that Konami wants to reinvent a classic Yu-Gi-Oh spell card, I thought, oh my god, it's our time. Skyscraper 1, Skyscraper 2, get ready to get skyscraped with Skyscraper 3. Because everyone knows that a trilogy is better than a sequel, right? Unfortunately for me, hype died down when we got our new Reinforcement of the Army card. And then I thought that we'd finally get Crossout Designator. Yeah. I don't even know where exactly I'm going with this, because Psychic Eraser Laser is the card that we're talking about. This is neither one of those, Konami. This is neither one of those. What Psychic Eraser Laser does is send one monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck to the graveyard. Then your opponent gains life points equal to the original attack and defense of that monster. You can only activate one Psychic Eraser Laser once per turn. This card is, I mean, it's okay. I love that Psychic Eraser Laser allows players that can't afford Triple Tactics talent to still have an out to Red Eyes Dark Dragoon if it's still being prevalent in their meta. The only problem with this is that Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is not a good card right now. I feel like I've committed some high treason if I say Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is not a good card. Glue Eaters down below in the comment section will obviously disagree, but top tables won't. Psychic Eraser Laser feels like a card that has came out just a little bit too late, but it does out really powerful cards like Divine Arsenal AA Zeus and Zodiac Dryden, so I mean, I guess that's not bad. This card does feel like one of those staple Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the set that you should just have. It looks like it's a confirmed super rare or a common. Regardless, I think the max price of this card will be around $3 to $4. The best thing about Psychic Eraser Laser is literally its name though. I mean, come on, Psychic Eraser Laser, it's like, pew, what a giant eraser. Like, imagine that, guys, come on, it's kind of cool. When I saw the last card on this particular list, I had to do a double take. This card isn't good, but it is good, but it isn't good, but I mean, it's kind of good. Armed Dragon Flash is a quick play spell card that unfortunately just so happens to be a secret rare. Its effect reads, special summon one level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. You can only use one Armed Dragon Flash per turn. Now, why is this card even remotely good? Especially seeing that the Armed Dragon series struggles at best? It's obvious because you can activate this card on your opponent's end phase, special summon Armed Dragon level 3, and then by your standby phase you get Armed Dragon level 5. Duh. But a more practical use for this card is that it can actually special summon a dragon monster to your side of the field. This card is the dragon's version of Emergency Teleport, and you guys know how good Emergency Teleport is. The reason why Dragon Link was so powerful before the Link Cross ban is that when your opponent did stop cards like your Hakla Fibrix, it basically allowed you to feel immune to hand traps following up with additional extension plays because it gave you more monsters. Armed Dragon Flash essentially gives Dragon Link a new life when they're disrupted, providing a level 4 or lower dragon monster to your side of the field, which means you can summon monsters like Guard Dragon, LP, or Pisty in a pinch, to also providing that additional dragon extender that the deck sometimes need to go full combo. Because like the deck has like 7 million combos now. This allows you to go fuller combo, I guess. Now, Armed Dragon Flash is a bit of a wild card. If this card did not have Armed Dragon in its name and was just a generic card, this card could be $3 to $5. But since nostalgia sets in and players want to Chaz it up, like what does that even mean? Like who likes Chaz this much? I can see Armed Dragon Flash settling at about a $20 per copy card, meaning that you're in a starkly safer situation for Dragon Link players. All in all, I feel if Rocket Dragon Link wants to be considered back into that top contending meta, Armed Dragon Flash may just be that important piece that they need to be able to continue on even after your opponent disrupts you. Well, that's all that I have from the cards that you need from Blazing Vortex. Unfortunately, not to sugarcoat it for you, Blazing Vortex by no means is an amazing set. But the good thing is that I found you guys some really good cards that you should be looking forward to. As always, if you want to see more TheCaliEffect content, then be sure to check out these videos as I'll catch you on the next one.